Monday, 14th of August. 5 orders in over the weekend. First one, whole bunch of battle droids, which if you watched last week's vlog, you'll know I only just bought and listed, so that's good. Made a decent profit on them as well, which is good. Kind of not gouging, not taking the proverbial or anything like that, but nice to make a bit of a profit quickly as well, which is good. So yeah, battle droids entirely in that order. This one's a bit of the classic Hoth Rebel minifigure with a yellow head. That one going out. This one just a couple of 3 parts, a dish, slope, and one of those little plates, which seem to be quite popular, those little things. This one was a pretty cool one, clearing me out of these little skis with these clips at the back and some other little parts. And then this one, which came in on Sunday evening, is a bit of a mixture of definitely kind of Star Warsy stuff. Could be some kind of spaceship, I think. Don't know, has a feeling of maybe a Krennic shuttle or something like that. To me, could be a wild guess, but you never know. So yeah, 5 orders in. It's pretty good. Above average, which is nice that it's kind of steadily growing. So I'm going to get these all packed up. These 4 here that are already sitting on the envelopes are all letter ones, so they're for the stamps, whereas this bigger one, the buyer chose parcel delivery, so that'll get a tracking and stuff like that, which is good. So I'll just get that done, get those uploaded, and then I'll show you what else I got up to over the weekend. Orders picked and all ready to go. Didn't actually do any parting out of the weekend, so we are starting the week on 64,701. So obviously the things that are sold over the weekend just chipped away at that total that we managed to get to, but that's okay. I had to think about what's a realistic target for parting out every week, and I think, you know, trying to do 5,000 parts a week is probably, given everything else that you have to do during the week, it's probably about as many as you can get going realistically. Anything above that is a massive bonus, but it's kind of where we are. What I also did was, not that one, where is it? That one, Brickowl. I finally got around to finishing sorting Brickowl and getting everything established on there. It's definitely not as elegant looking as Bricklink is, and whilst it only went live yesterday after they did all the verification checks, there hasn't been any orders yet. But what that did lead me down a track was of needing to get into Brick Freedom, which this is, which the picking tool, not that I don't actually have an iPad, so I can't really use it in terms of the you know, where you're kind of going around on a trolley like you see some people doing in these stores. Well, 1, I'm not big enough to have a trolley, and 2, I don't have an iPad, so I'm stuffed on both those fronts. But you can use it as that kind of a double checking process, which is quite useful. So you go in here and you can see how many orders, you just click them off like this. So this one's already been double checked, but I'm just doing this for showing you how it works. So you go through, you just check everything off. Let me just hammer through this. And then you mark order as processed down here. Now I don't want to give away the person's name, so I'm just going to be careful. Yeah, so what comes up is a message that gives you their address and stuff like that, that you could do your print label from and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. But what you can do is you can add in things like your tracking number, and it can show, so that's the NZ Post tracking number, and it can automatically push through your drive-through message. Sorry, I know I'm It's the first time I've tried to explain this to anybody else. Yeah, so it can push through the drive-through notification from Bricklink, which is kind of saves me doing a couple of things really, because I was sending out an email, and then it kind of takes you to this summary screen. Now its numbers seem to be a little bit skewy, because like we've had like 60 something orders on the actual store, but it only seems to be registering some of those. But it's kind of got all sorts of reporting in it as well, which is quite interesting. That's just for August, but it kind of breaks it down by parts and minifigures and instructions. It breaks it down by colour. Light blue grey has just taken the lead in terms of the most popular part for the month of August. White was way in the lead, but it's kind of interesting that you get some stats. Average sales 1.2 per day, total 17. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And you pay 1% fee on every sale, which kind of, whilst that's a bit, the integration between the two stores and the inventory is a good thing. So I'm just going to give it a try for a month. If there's no sales coming from Brickowl and stuff like that, I'll have a rethink of it. But I thought I'd give it a bit of a whirl whilst we're just trying stuff out. And I might do a little bit of a video about these different bits and pieces separately, just to kind of explain how they work and things like that as we go. So yeah, I don't know how you get back. Oh yeah, there he is. You go back to the home and it just kind of gives you that. Yeah, so it only says we've got 22 orders, which, you know, if you go back over onto Bricklink, orders-wise, it's 67. So I'm not sure where that discrepancy comes from. Meanwhile, over on YouTube, if I just refresh that, the new video isn't up there yet, but still must be processing. There wasn't an awful lot of action on YouTube all weekend. It kind of sat on 312 followers all weekend until kind of obviously through Sunday night, where it kind of jumped up. The top 10 valuable minifigures little video that I did kind of chugged along a little bit. Not gone crazy. There you go. You know, you can't win them all. I'm probably going to try and do another review video this week. One of those kind of sets. Might either do Yavin, or I might do the spider tank one, or maybe a mech. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do another one of those because I quite enjoyed doing those. And yeah, we'll tick along really. Not much else to report at this stage. Going to have a little bit of make a plan for the week. I'm actually going to make a plan for the week for a change, a realistic one, because it's felt like I've been chasing my tail for the last few weeks. So that's my next plan. Kind of now Brickowl's up. That's a big one ticked off my list. And we'll have a think about what we're going to do with the rest of the week in terms of trying to get some more parts into the store and how we manage that in terms of space and stuff like that. But ticking things off, getting there slowly, building steadily, which is all what we can expect really. So happy so far, and I'll report back later in the day as I get things done. So it's Monday evening. Been busy parting out smaller sets, kind of trying to add some variety to the store. Been through some Ninjago sets, some Minecraft sets, a Disney Princess set, and a couple of city sets, or one city set. Can't quite remember. Also listing Big Bad Mace Windows going in. I've forgotten to set this to HD, so if the image quality is a bit rubbish, that's why. A total of 1,033 parts added in, so that's pretty good. Kind of, if I'm going to try and do 5,000 a week, then I need to hit 1,000 a day. I was going to do the Justifier part out, but I'm going to save that one for tomorrow. I've been through and done the Brick Store file and made sure that's all accurate, but I just need to go through and actually part it out. But saving that job for tomorrow, along with doing a review video. Got sidetracked on some day job work, so gonna get this mass exported and we'll go from there, eh? So I've already kind of been through and done all of these, so and checked them off piece by piece as I was doing it, and then consolidated them into one Brick Store file. So this is just really finishing the file and getting it all uploaded, so all the remarks and all of the bits and pieces is all sorted already, which is good. So yeah, just confirming what we already knew. So it's 1033 items, that is 244 unique lots. Adding that much to the store. Let's get that uploaded, send out the notifications, encourage the world to shop. I don't know how you see how many new parts that might have added to your store. Anyway, and that takes us, that one, for today, that takes us to beyond 65,000, which happy with that, that's good. It's a good start. And then I think if you go to Brick Freedom, yeah, it has some interesting settings in Brick Freedom. It has like this section about unmatched lots. So the stuff that Brick Freedom can't work out for Brickowl for some reason. So like that Land Rover set isn't on there yet, and the Battle of Endor Heroes isn't on there yet. And then there's all sorts of parts that don't apply to Brickowl as well. Like that old engine, I think probably because it's quite an old part. But like some friends' bows and things like that. That Batman thing, that's from an architecture set, so it's a bit of a weird one. Stickered tiles, I think it doesn't like. And yeah, some printed stuff. Yeah, so Brickowl obviously not quite as adaptable, don't know, as Bricklink, but maybe that's because it's Lego's own thing. Maybe that's the reason. So current inventory count, does it tell me that? 2023, week 32. Oh, we're in week 33, are we? That's what we're looking at. So far they reckon, I think it's a UK based thing, so their week probably only just begun, right? Yeah, so we're 100% down on everything so far, according to them. But last week was good. Kind of the stats, the stats are gone. Yeah, like sales were up like 108% or something like that. So that was pretty good. I was happy with that. So yeah, so that's it for today. Back tomorrow, kind of see what we come up with. Light bluish grey one winning so far. It's the weirdest graph, isn't it? Over on YouTube, someone suggested I do some shorts, so I'm going to give that a bash. So if you've got any ideas what you want me to do shorts of, I do wear shorts most days, but I don't think you want to see that. As much as I think my legs are awesome, nobody really wants to see them. But yeah, if you want specific things in shorts, like little hints of tips or leaks or stuff like that, let's just kind of leave a comment and I'll try and do it, kind of tailor it to what people want to see in the shorts rather than me just kind of guessing. That'll be good. So I'll do some bits and pieces and see which ones are more successful during the week, and then yeah, see how we go. So yeah, back tomorrow. Cheers. So I'm in Maya because I was in the other end of town, and they've got some big clearances. So this one is the part out value is 209, so that's a huge part out value on that one. And they've got 15% off of all of the Star Wars sets as well. They've got the Justifier down to 155, which is huge, right? And I've got a couple of those to part out, but that's what I paid for it as well, so in stock. And they've got a load of Avatar as well. Not so big a deals on those ones, but still great discounts, and 15 or 10% off most things in store. A lot of things on discount. Bit of Disney, a lot of Friends, or this older Friends stuff, but that art school or whatever it is, that's a pretty good part out of value. I might pick up a couple of those for 65. A bit of variety in the store, and grab some Star Wars while I'm here before I head over to Big W and check out what they've got in there. But yeah, definitely great deals on at Maya at the moment, if anyone's trying to pick up anything. mainly Friends and Avatar, a little bit of Disney. But yeah, there's heaps of good deals to be had here if people are looking for part out sets. Quick stop in Big W to see what they've got. Not a lot of Star Wars left. They do have a Boosh Leia though, but all the battle packs are gone. Still got Yoda's fighter, still got the mechs, got the N1 Starfighter, but that's about all they've got left in the Star Wars section. But plenty of everything else, I would say, and no particularly good deals. They do have it's Kmart that has the battle pack online for cheap, but there isn't a Kmart here, so I can't check that out. So that's the end of the trip to the shopping centre here anyway. I'm going to try Kmart a go because they do have some amazing deals online. Lego store, hugely disappointing, very little on the shelves. Maya wins the day with 15% off, 50% on clearances, a whole stock of Republic fighter tanks, of which they had about 20, and the lady that runs the Lego department said they got fresh stock in that very morning of all sorts. The Justifier, the Sith Interceptor, they had all of the helmets and loads of battle packs as well. So I picked up a little bit of a selection of stuff from them, and then from Big W just grabbed some duplicate Ninjago sets which were on offer, just to make out that parting out a little bit more productive, and a couple of those little city electric cars, mainly because I think it's a cute little set. Yeah, I just like it as a set. It's cute. So yeah, I'm going to try Kmart next and see how we go. So it's Tuesday afternoon now. I'm back from the shopping frenzy or the bargain hunting. So this is my haul. So a little bit of 15 to 50% off on all of this. So picked up a couple of those electric cars, a couple of duplicates on the Ninjago sets, and I'll talk about that when I get to parting out and why I've gone that route. Got some more of the 332nd battle packs, a couple of Rex helmets, a couple of the fighter tanks. I left plenty of those in the store, although Maya do have a limit of 5 more battle packs. And I picked up 2 of these art schools at their crazy discount, especially given that part out value for those. So they'll be good for adding variety and rounding off with a couple more of the 332nd battle packs. So not a bad little morning's work. Plenty of variety to add into the store from that little lot, and a good deal to be had out there right now, heading into the September wave. I think everyone's trying to shift stuff. Not complaining though. I think I might even part those 2 out, given that I've got one for my own collection. I've got one on sale in the store. There's plenty of them available. I think I've got one for investment as well. So I might part them out, given how popular white bricks are. But I'm going to think about that one. I'm not going to add them to the part out pile straight away. One to think about. I think I said it was Wednesday for a minute in the previous video. It's actually Tuesday. Just shows how chaotic the weeks have been of late. Anyway, there was one order in overnight, and the first from the UK, and already hit a problem with it in that dark turquoise 4x4 plate is incorrectly listed. Picked it out of the bin, the drawer, and dark turquoise is, where is it? There. And it is in fact dark azure. So as you can see, kind of they're so close, but not when you actually see it on the printout. Kind of, it really does sometimes help you identify the colour. I did start making my own version of this colour chart on a white, one of those big base plates, so that I can kind of get it right in the future. Not that I'm doing many kind of part outs from loose pieces anymore. They're usually coming from sets, but yeah, it's a shame. So I've gone back to the buyer to ask him how he wants to proceed, because it was a pretty good order. It was 50 of those little modified clips, some yellow 1x4 tiles, and some plates, which was pretty good. Another thing that kind of is interesting to note, obviously Bricklink have introduced kind of the GST stuff in Australia, but also in the UK they're obviously adding VAT to it. And the instruction is that you add a PDF for the VAT, which is 2 pages to the actual package. Like, how the hell are you supposed to do that when the package is actually, you know, postcard sized? I've no idea how you're supposed to manage that, and there's no kind of documentation around it online either. So if anyone's got an idea what you meant to do with that, please leave a comment below. But in the meantime, I'm just going to print it out and stick it in the box, because there just isn't the room to stick it on, and it's literally just like an invoice. So you've got everyone's personal details on the outside of a package, which seems a little bit loose for data privacy and whatnot as well. So yeah, an interesting one. So Tuesday afternoon is going to be parting out frenzy. I already did a couple of Brickstore files yesterday, so this set and the Justifier have already been kind of worked through on Brickstore, and all of the drawers and everything allocated to them. So really this is just a case of going through the bags, putting them in the various cups, of which I have a lot already out everywhere you can conceive. I've got cups strewn around ready for parts going in, and then I'm going to do this set, I'm going to do the Justifier, and then I'm going to try and do a couple of smaller ones. Obviously you always see kind of people going, oh, I've got 6, 7, you know, multiples of all of these kind of sets. Well, 2 things for me. One, it's a new store, so one, I don't have endless budget to do that, and 2, kind of I'm not so familiar with what parts sell so well, and in an effort to get variety I am trying to have a bit of scope. So I went out and I bought an extra one of this set and an extra one of that set. Was it that set or that set? I can't remember. It was one of the 2. Because what I have found is when you're only doing one, it does take the same amount of time and to put it away and stuff like that. So from an economic point of view, you do end up using an awful lot of time parting out. So if you are only doing smaller volumes, you are spending a lot of time for very little actual stock going in place. So two or three seems to make sense to me, whereas 4, 5 and plus that for me at this stage seems, 1, a big gamble, and 2, I just don't really have the space for that kind of volume of stock. So we're going to run through this, and we're going to do some shorts on this as well, but they're only going to be kind of like short things, whereas this will be a bit more of a longer look at it as we go through in the vlog. So this is what we're going to do. I'll show you the Brickstore file that I've already prepared next. So here's the Brickstore file already done, and what I did was kind of imported it as you would, and then did a mass export so I could see which parts were not allocated drawers, and then worked through the Brickstore file, allocating drawers to it and adding comments, remarks where I needed to, in order to complete the file before I'd even open the boxes, so I can get a good look of what parts I had and which parts I didn't. And there's those kind of bricks with the 2 pins that we've discussed, how I've got them mixed up in a drawer with other stuff. And as you can see, there's kind of some new parts. There's some dragon wings that I haven't had before. I've not had pearl gold versions of those curved slopes before. There's quite a few bits and pieces in terms of colours that I hadn't had before, and some parts that I definitely hadn't had before that just kind of needed sorting. So rather than do it on the fly, I kind of did it in advance. So hopefully that will save me some time. Obviously this is the first time I'm doing it this way, so it is a bit of a test. But yeah, so I'm going to do the part out bit next. But Wednesday morning. One order in overnight, and it's all instructions, 13 of them to be exact. Most of them are pretty old ones, so my initial thought that someone was trying to get all the QR codes for the new Lego Insiders extra VIP points that they've just announced yesterday is incorrect, because I don't think any of these have QR codes in. They're all older sets. One of them is a UCS TIE Fighter, but other than that it's Imperial shuttles. Yeah, it's kind of quality old vintage sets, some of the original ones, the Final Duel 1 and 2s, that 6207 A-Wing, and the really cool 7657 AT ST, which I still think is one of the best versions of that. So the buyer, Luke, has also left a note saying don't post it yet, because I might buy some more. So awesome. I am going to have to get him like a good package to put that in. I think I might have a nice box actually that those might fit in. The UCS one's the biggest one, so it'll be whether or not that fits into that. No orders over on Brickowl. There was one potential. I had a tile listed as lavender, which is like only ever appeared in one set, an Ursula brickhead. It wasn't lavender, it was medium lavender, I think, or something like that. Anyway, so it was a request for a quote on Brickowl, so I had to cancel that order and delete the part because I got that one wrong. What did I do yesterday? I continued doing part outs and things like that. I did some shorts on the YouTube channel, which seemed to have gone all right. We've climbed up to 334 subscribers. It was at 333 with 33 videos a little while ago, which again, lovely, perfect numbers. I do like the symmetry of that. But yeah, it's gone really well. I don't know why it's looking so big. Why has that gone so big? The banner has gone like super wide, hasn't it? Weird. Anyway, yeah, so the shorts are down there. I did like a parting out with me, inspired by all those people you see on TikTok who get ready with me, and bits and pieces from yesterday, just to see what works. I don't know whether anything really jumps out there as being a winner, because you know the most recent one is the one that's got all the views, so there's nothing really you could say about that. But interestingly, there was a question on one of the videos yesterday about how from Kato about how I choose sets to part out, and I know I've kind of mentioned it a couple of times as I'm going along that you know there's a good part out value like on that Friends art school yesterday, and I know it's like there's people that do it much better science than me, like people like Hillian's Bricks has a whole kind of Discord and subscription service where he gives you part out values, analysis and stuff like that if you're prepared to pay for it. And I'm not kind of that scientific about it at this stage. It doesn't mean I won't be in the future when I learn a little bit more, but my basic principle is to just use Bricklink's price guide. So for instance, something like the Black Panther, which is currently on sale on Lego for 40% off, so down from 550 Australian dollars to 330 is a massive discount at the best, right? Now I'm not going to go and buy 5 of them because that's like a massive investment, and as I said yesterday, kind of doing 1 or 2 or 3, the time putting it away, the time doing the brick store file, the time sorting is pretty much the same. So from an economics point of view, it's better to do, for me, 2 or 3, balancing that with the financial aspect. So then what I do is I go into the price guide, which you can find at the top here on Bricklink, and you get a screen before this one, which I will show you. You get this screen so you can look for a part in terms of how much that is doing, or you can do the set. So you put the set in, you can say how many you've got, but to be honest, you just want what it's got. You can choose the box, break if there's sets within the sets. I'm not really sure what that is. Do the extra parts, and then you can get the value of it. and then it gives you the details. So the 6 monthly sales average for that set is 918. So at 330 to 918, you're getting close to 3 times the return. The current items for sale average, so what people have got listed, is a little bit higher, but not massively higher. And the average on my inventory, I don't have all of those lots, so it would add another 87 lots to my store. So that figure is the kind of thing that I use to gauge it. Now I know what some people then do is go in and look at the actual parts for the set. So this is them. And like for me, I had a little look at this earlier, going through all of the black parts here. There isn't an awful lot there that's kind of like, I could say, oh yeah, I'm selling loads of those. Like maybe that black hinge plate there, kind of, I've done quite a lot of them. Black plates, these smaller ones, I don't really sell many of those. Black bigger plates, definitely sell a fair few of them. Like whenever I've got them in, they go quite a lot. Like I've got quite a lot of these in stock. I haven't sold them, but then I'm not trying to price them the cheapest they are on the market. And I know a lot of people are trying to price at like 10 to 20% below the average, which, you know, seems a little bit counterproductive because everyone's trying to sell 10 to 20% under the average. And then if you're all doing that, you're just bringing the average down, right? So, right? That's like a race to the bottom. And then there's some parts that I don't have. So that one, I know from going through Brickstore files yesterday, that's a new part for me. And then, you know, there's a lot of black parts, obviously, because it's Black Panther. There's some printed parts, which obviously I don't have. But generally, there's nothing in there that's amazing. And then you get down into a whole bunch of like dark purple parts, which again, not really something I've got a lot of. A bunch of light blue, a bunch of magenta. And then there's all these metallic silver ones, which you've got to imagine they're the ones where there's going to be a bit of value because they'd be pretty cool. But yeah, there's nothing majorly like wow in that set for that return. So it's a bit of a value judgment in answer to Kato's question. It's kind of, you know, I'm not selling massive amount of those parts, but that part out value is 3 times. So if that's the holy grail, I have not seen that very often. But when it does come along, it feels like that's the sort of thing I should be going for in terms of adding variety and adding volume to the store. And at that many parts, you know, 3,000 parts, that's a good jump up from a very part out, you know. Sat down yesterday for a little while trying to think about how many parts is feasible for me to add to. I was trying to buy that part for the UCS slave yesterday, and I timed out on it, so I've left that open so I can remember where's the store. I was going to come back and talk about those. Hang on, let's go to the store. Where are we at? Visit the store. Yes, so I was sitting down yesterday trying to think about what it is feasible for me to add on a weekly basis in terms of parts and still, you know, hold down a day job and do everything else. And adding 5,000 parts a week is a big ask week on week, but it's what I'm going to set myself as a challenge to try and do, which would see us get to about probably about 120,000 parts by the end of the year, which would be a huge increase. You know, we started at like 30, and that took me like a month to get to 30, that first month of doing stuff. So to get to like over 100,000 into the 120s by the end of the year would be a massive leap. So that's what we're targeting. But that's kind of my theory in choosing sets on a value basis. At the moment, you know, as you've seen from the vlogs, adding variety is important, and that's kind of what I've tried to be doing, because, you know, most of my collection has always been Star Wars. You know, Star Wars has been my thing for decades, and whilst that gives you a good value because it's very collectible, it doesn't give you the variety that so many people talk about in the store. So that's been the focus of the last couple of weeks, and will continue to be whilst I work through all of these sets that I bought recently. You know, these Disney ones, the Friends ones, the Marvel ones, the Ninjagos, the Minecraft, and some Harry Potter that I'm shaping up to do a bit of a deal on as well. So just to add in a little bit across the themes, just to try and increase the chances, and hopefully that'll kind of bring people in. You know, I honestly thought Brickowl would kick off a lot quicker than this. It hasn't, which is a bit of a surprise. You know, my store, I've been quite surprised. I thought, you know, thought it would do well, but I mean, personally, I think it looks like a dog of a platform, eh? It's just, it looks like stepping back into the years of MySpace or something like that. It is just like that. This is just like the old kind of Blogspot type menu, isn't it? It's kind of, for those of you old enough to remember that, which showing me age, but there you go. Yeah, it's definitely way behind in terms of its sophistication in interface and searchability and stuff like that. But there we are. We'll see. You know, as I said, I'm going to give it a month, see how it goes, because obviously that has the impact on paying, you know, for the 1% on Brick Freedom. No point in having Brick Freedom if I'm only using one store. So all of these things have a knock-on effect. And I went off topic there. Never mind. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was this. Now, I love Lego ideas, right? I'm a big fan, like, from the Doctor Who ones to the A-frame to the Beatles one to the, you know, I've always been the DeLorean. I've always been a big fan of kind of Lego ideas, but every now and then they just perplex me, and this was one of those moments. It's like they just, what is that? It's kind of, don't know, I just don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe insects just aren't my thing. I remember seeing the pictures of the original one and thinking the dung beetle looked pretty amazing, and I guess that might be a praying mantis or something, that one in the middle, but it's just lost amongst the actual thing that it's on. Yeah, it's kind of, and the butterfly is nowhere near as nice as the original. Yeah, funny. I don't know what the price of that's going to be, but our Lego idea sets are usually pretty pricey, and you know, as they chase this adult market, I think they've lost a bit of the fun in Lego ideas of late. It's kind of, let's get back to kind of, you know, when they did the Kakapo and stuff like that, you know, they were cool little stories, and it was the first time. And I think they're going to do a cat, like a cat. Really? It's not even like Garfield or something like funny. It's just a cat. Yeah. Luckily September's coming and there'll be plenty of other sets to choose from. Anyway, rant over. Time to do some part outs and get on with getting some stuff in the store. So Wednesday afternoon, just finished doing 3 part outs. So I did a couple of the those electric cars that I bought yesterday. I did a whole bunch of those 330-second battle packs, and I did the 2 Captain Rexes. Oh, and I did a couple of Ninjagos, so 4 part outs this morning. And to be honest, so much easier just doing it all in a go. Kind of having done the Brick Store files yesterday and worked out the drawers and stuff like that, you end up with a much better flow, a much better workflow, rather than having to go back and forth and change drawers and things like that so much. I mean, there's still a couple of things that just there was too much volume, so I've ended up with like 3 little pots that mean that these 2 are out of one of the trays. They're going to have to be reassigned somewhere, and one of the drawers only had half a drawer of the 2x1 white plates, which means it's going to get its own plate. So pretty good, kind of, you know, maybe 4 hours work, kind of doing all of those sets, opening the boxes, sorting, putting away, and then kind of cut and paste all of them into one single Brickstore file. So it's a bit of a monster, but it does mean you're adding a lot of parts all at once. And in fact, we're adding 2,100 items, 339 unique lots, and $500 worth of stuff. Not that that really makes great shakes. A fair few new colours and stuff like that. Not a lot of new parts, you know, new parts. Some good minifigures. Interesting, kind of the with the helmet box. Those bags were so much easier to tear apart than the like the Ninjago ones. Maybe they make it out of a different material. Anyway, kind of firing that up onto the store. Send out those notifications. That's a big whack of new stuff going onto the store. Let's have a look at what that does midweek to our totals. Had another order in as well whilst I was doing all of that, which is for a minifigure. So that takes us to 69,153. So heading for that 70,000 pretty comfortably at this stage. Hoping to get that Justifier part out done, which will take us beyond that tomorrow. But that is a big set, and the helmet was pretty much taking me deep into the amount of pots and stuff I've got. So yeah, that's going to be a challenge. Anyway, I thought I'd show you what I'm doing in terms of overflow. So kind of there's a few parts that have just filled a bin, i.e. kind of a whole one of those, all by one colour or something like that, or one type. And these kind of things are probably a classic example, rapidly approaching filling one up. Like there are a few different colours in there, but they're predominantly white or black or grey and stuff like that. So I could either go down the route of splitting them all out, but given that there's not masses of volume going out of the store at this stage, what I've decided to do is have some overflow bins. So all I do on my remarks is add a plus after the drawer that they're in, so I know that there are more of them somewhere else. And at the moment, kind of got a whole drawer full of these 2x14s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah, 2x14 plates. I've got a whole bin of these, although they are assorted, but kind of they seem to be very common. I have got so many of these now. Obviously pretty common in brickheads and stuff like that, but they've got a whole bin to themselves. Again, 2x6 black plates. Obviously I bought a lot of them in the Pick a Brick wall, and I've got so many of them and I haven't sold a single one of them. So sitting on those, again with 2x1 black bricks. There's a lot of black in here, isn't there? You'd think I was a bit of a goth. And those kind of plates that the collectible minifigures sit on, I've got a glut of those as well. So I just have this little storage box sat on the shelf out of the way, and then I can just kind of decant things into this rather than having to have drawer after drawer after drawer. I think that's probably a good way of minimising having to have too many drawers, given that we do have limited space to work with going forward. In good news, the really useful box company are expecting their delivery the end of this week or on Monday, and I've had a couple of emails backwards and forwards with them, making sure I can secure some more drawers and, importantly, the trays before their delivery arrives. So hopefully I've got that sorted out as well, to put a couple more stacks under the desk here to help with some of this volume that I've got on certain things, like those things that were sitting on my desk that I showed you before. Anyway, I've got to go and pick the wife up. She's got an appointment. I've got to take her to that, and probably come back and do a couple of bits and pieces, and then I'm going to watch my first ever Women's World Cup football match, given that it's Australia versus England, and the wife's Australian and I'm English, so we'll see who wins, but I'll catch you soon. Morning. Thursday? Yes, it is Thursday. I had to check. God, this week, totally confused with this week. 2 orders in overnight. First one, a lot of light shining on those bags, isn't there? Just a mix of parts. Pretty decent order, to to be fair. Interesting bits and pieces. Cleared me out of a few bits and pieces. Figured out a pretty cool feature on Brick Freedom as you're going through checking things off. It tells you how many you still have in stock, so you can see quite clearly if you're out of something, which means you could add it to a wanted list if you wanted to replenish. This one's a cool order because it comes from HNZ Bricks, which isn't from New Zealand. Hang on, I'm just going to go over here so I can see what the guy's name is again. Andrew, who is in Tasmania, and he's ordered the Princess Leia sexy outfit, a couple of the totally amazing purple things, and a couple of those like Palpatine statuette hooded figures. Anyway, he's left a message saying, a new watcher of the channel, really enjoy the content, keep up the great work, and thank you. But thank you for popping by and making an order. I think that's only like maybe the first or second possibly person that's mentioned that they've been watching the content. So yeah, chuffed with that. Thanks a lot, and enjoy the figures. The Leia's a cracker, and she's never getting made again, that's for sure, especially not with the cleavage. And all the troubles with Jabba's palace for sure. This one is the instructions order that was in yesterday. I've pulled them all out. The buyer has asked for me not to send them yet because they might buy a few more. Presumably they're buying sets on eBay or something. There's a great little collection of instructions, mainly vintagey ones. So there's the Flash Speeder, that's ages old, A couple of the Final Duel ones. The A-Wing, really like that one. The other Final Duel, the Imperial Shuttle, which I've got in the storage unit. The Tusken Encounter, never really got into that set. That one, which, man, it's so basic when you actually build that one these days. Possibly my favourite one of that one. It's just straight up in it, it's great. The Wampa Cave, good old X-Wing. He's obviously building the UCS X-Wing and Poe's TIE Fighter X-Wing. Bit of a so cracking little bunch of instructions, and possibly going to be buying some more. So none of these are barcode ones, they're all much older than that. So yeah, nice little set, pretty decent condition apart from the Flash Speeder. That's probably the one that's a bit shabby, but yeah, it's all good. And then on this order from the UK, where this little plate was the wrong colour, I've sent 3 messages now to the buyer in terms of trying to confirm what he wants to do. So I sent one this morning saying, look, I've not heard from you. You know, the VAT is a whack on this. The shipping's 25.75 Australian dollars. The parts are only $15. So if I don't hear back, I'm just going to cancel and refund the whole order, just in case that part, which was the lion's share of the order really, at like $2.32, you know, it's a huge chunk of that order. And if it was me paying, you know, the best part of $35 with VAT and shipping to get that in the country, and that was the part that I really wanted, I'd be so miffed. So I think out of an abundance of caution, if I don't hear back from him today, I'll cancel and refund the order. You know, if it was desperately urgent, he would have responded, I would have thought, and it's not like he can't reorder without that plate. I started picking the parts, and then I thought, oh, if it was me, what would I want to happen with such an order? You know, would I be upset if it arrived with one piece when that was the piece that I wanted? So, you know, I'm just trying to do the right thing by that. Anyway, so I'm going to get these 2 orders packed up and ready to go. Wait to hear about the instructions, and then going to get back to doing some part outs. I might have another one of these Facebook Marketplace deals coming my way today. The lady that sorts those out for me, my dealer, as I've been calling her to the wife, has come through with a whole bundle of stuff. I don't know, there's tons of sales on right now. I picked up some sets on Big W last night, that were like 20% off, which was even better than those Maya deals that I got the other day, actually. So yeah, there might be a bit of a deal to be had there. I'm going to drop her a message in a minute and see if she's gone through with the gear. But otherwise, I'm going to continue with the parting out. And I hope to hear back from the really useful box people, because I haven't today. Having said that it was all sorted, I've cursed that one. So yeah, plenty to do as always. So best get on. So before I jump into doing the part out, I've decided to do something a little bit different, or something a bit more immediate. So I'm done the photographs for listing the now complete tie bomber on Facebook, not Facebook, eBay. So I'm going to give him a list later on this afternoon when it's a more bid-friendly time on the East Coast, as most buyers seem to be on the East Coast. And then I forgot that I was going to do a review video this week, so I'm going to do a review kind of build video of the spider tank. I've only got one copy of this, so this one was for my collection, but I think I'll be able to pick up plenty of these in the fullness of time. So I don't see anyone do a build review of this one online, so a little bit different, and a chance to check out that Bo-Katan minifigure once and for all. So yeah, that's next up. So I'm procrastinating in epic sense that I'm doing anything but this part out, it seems. So I started reorganising some of the drawers that were getting a bit full, and then just tried to finish organising that. And the usual thing that happens to me when I'm trying to do anything important is I got the usual system unavailable because they're doing their daily maintenance. So now I'm going through Bricklink orders that have come in, and I've realised what I've done, which is a classic. So some of these parts will be for the turbo tank. That bit definitely is for the turbo tank, and I'm guessing that these are for the turbo tank. These may also be for the turbo tank, but I'm not sure because I updated the inventory with the parts that I purchased before I'd printed it out, so I don't know what I was missing and what I'm not. So now I'm going to have to go through the inventory when it's back online and see what is what and which of these bits I've just ordered to replenish things in the store. So I'm pretty sure these leaves weren't around when that turbo tank was released, so that's pretty sure. But the other bits could be anything. This box is definitely parts for the store. Turns out those 10x1 dark tan plates are pretty hard to come by. They were in the UCS Razor Crest, but not many other sets. And I don't know whether I said it before in a previous vlog even, about a buyer wanting them and me not having them listed correctly again, and having to end up doing some 1x4s and some 2x2s to kind of make it up for him, because it obviously was just an aesthetic thing rather than structural. So I've got some in to cover me in the future, to get those added to the store. And I had a couple of left sides of these, but no rights. So I've just got a stock of both and both. And what I realised today is, right, that to me, that one sits in your right hand, okay? So it's facing right. But they call that the left one, which might make perfect sense to other people, but it confused the hell out of me this morning when I was doing the spider tank build, when they were talking about left and right, and I was kind of trying to figure it out. Anyway, yeah, the small things that entertain me. So, how many more minutes have we got till Bricklink is back up and running? 1 minute before it's back up and running, and then I can put away this final reorganised big drawer, of which we're now up to 132 big drawers. And then that'll be the last of the reorganised drawers. And then it's into parting out the Justifier. Can't put it off any longer. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's probably going to take me the best part of a couple of hours, I reckon. So enough delay, get on with it. Okay, so this is without doubt the biggest part out I'm doing yet, and as such it's got the biggest amount of cups that I've ever had out as yet. All of those, all of those, all of those, and all of those. And I still don't think that's going to be enough for this set, such as the scale of it. So I'm just going to crack into it, see how many we use up, and it might be a case of having to put them away in parts. I'm going to get the Brick Store file up so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'm going to go from there. Okay, let's get into it. 1 hour and 10 minutes later, all parted out, and I was right. More cups than you could possibly imagine, and a mountain of plastic, which there is part of me that always feels bad about that bit. Parts, minifigures galore, cups and stacks of cups, because I started running out of space. Bits that I didn't even get into cups, more cups with cups stacked on cups. Yeah, it's chaos, eh? So it's another pile of cups over here. Yeah, so start putting it away. Let's see how long putting it away takes me. It is 3:25, and as they say in New Zealand, let's go, or however they say it. It's 5:30, so that's taking me the best part of 2 hours. Some drawers needed reorganising, some drawers I couldn't find because when I changed things around, I obviously haven't hit submit changes along the way, so there was a little bit of messing around, but we're all sorted now. Been through, checked the inventory, so it's all ready to upload to Bricklink. It is 2,000 parts, 219 unique lots, $924 worth of part out value, which amazing given the price I bought it for on discount. Notifications pushed out to encourage all of those crazy shoppers, and that I think should have taken us over the 70,000. Look at that, 71,000 parts, so surpassed this week's target, and it's only Thursday. I am having a mare with what day of the week it is, and it's only Thursday, God. And whilst I've been working away, I think I've had a couple more orders in. 2 more orders in. This one, I'll just go up there so I don't show anyone's address. Pretty small-ish order. 23 of those white things. 4 of them, 5 of them, yeah. It's pretty decent. And I'll go up here again just in case somebody's... Oh no, that's the same one. Carmi Jets. It's that one. And this one is a bit of a bigger order. Yeah. Oh, some good stuff in this one. Yeah, nice. Yeah, decent amount of bits and pieces. I'm glad I sorted out those printed tiles into their own drawers at the weekend, because that'll make them easier to find. Yeah, that's good. That was a nice little order. There's a message with that one, but I'll have to read that later, and I'll maybe talk about it tomorrow when I show you having picked this order. Yeah, so a couple of orders in, pretty good. The new review of the spider tank is up and ticking along, which is fine. Give it a watch if you haven't already. It's on the channel somewhere. And yeah, that's probably it for me for the day. That's taken me the best part of 3 hours to do that part out, given that I'd already done the Brick Store file. Whew, I don't know whether I'm slow or whether or not there's a quicker way to do all of that. I'll be interested to know if people do have a quicker way of doing that. You know, is that how long it takes, or is it just me being slow? Leave a comment below if you've got tricks and tips on how to make that a more efficient process, and till tomorrow. Cheers. It's Friday morning. Beautiful sunny day outside. Three orders in overnight, and I heard back from the guy in the UK. Let's have a quick look at the orders. This one's just in actually, so it wasn't really overnight, it was this morning. Black flag and what do you call that? A bladed claw, which I'm not even sure what that's from. This this bundle over here, I'm going to guess that's something Hoth. They could well be 80 feet. This one is the biggest order of the lot. Kind of a whole bunch of dark blue-grey, a whole bunch of white, some light blue-grey, and a little assortment of printed tiles as well, and some trans light blue stuff. This is that order from the UK where the 4x4 plate was the wrong colour, but apparently it doesn't matter. The buyer's happy to take what I had, so that's fantastic. So that one's going to get shipped out to the UK. I'm still waiting to hear back what the buyer of all the instructions, whether or not he's finished or whether or not he's still going. So those 4 to sort out. Over on Brick Freedom, I was just having a look, trying to see some of their reporting stats, because it's felt like quite a busy week for orders, but we had 11 orders last week, and we've only got 8 in this week, so that's why it's down 27%, which looks quite grim, doesn't it? 27%, but it's only like 3 orders off, isn't it? And it's still the weekend to come, so that's pretty good. But the average sale value is up, which is good. Shipping is down, more people choosing the large letter format, which it's by the by because people are just paying for what they get in there. And the total sales is down because the orders are down. That's all right. Total item sale is a bit less, but yeah, I guess that doesn't matter if the average sale is up. Items down, sales up, doesn't really matter. And the average sales, I think it was 1.8 per day last week. And the largest quantity of items was 50, which is for that order in the UK. So that's kind of interesting. Obviously, keep an eye on that stuff. It's good to know. Heard back this morning from the really useful box people. Their shipping container arrives on Wednesday with all their new stuff. So I've put an order in. Ooh, not too close because it makes it go fuzzy, doesn't it? I've put an order in for 2 stacks of drawers and trays, which are going to go under the desk next to the end of where all of the part out sets are all stored. I'm going to take out the white IKEA kind of cage trays that I have in there and use the space for these instead. And over on YouTube, Stephen11B commenting away. He's a Trojan of comments, and Twins are 2 regular commenters. That's great. The Spider Tank review, doing fairly well, although I did see that both M&R Productions and Life Bricks both have the September the 1st Ahsoka T6 shuttle in hand and have done reviews. And I have to say, if you haven't watched it, you should go and check it out, because the underside of that shuttle, given that you can rotate that sail, is absolutely shocking. But M&R's going on about the droid being a minifigure and not a droid, and that's not the precedent, but surely C-3PO is a minifigure droid. Has he forgotten? Maybe he has. Anyway, I love his videos. It's such good production. One day we aspire to be that good, eh? So yeah, I have got some life admin to do. Got to go and do some car registration stuff, but whilst I'm over that side of the world, I have got a Facebook Marketplace little haul that I'm going to pick up that I mentioned yesterday, I think. And then I'm going to come back, and I've been working away on that art school brick store file. There's a lot of printed tiles and stuff in this Lego Friends set. So I'm just going through and assigning trays and drawers and stuff like that to things as I go through. How far through that file am I? I'm about halfway through this file, so my aim is to try and do that part out today. Hopefully I'll get a chance. Just have a sip of my coffee, hang on. That's how professional I am. Hopefully I get a chance to finish this today, and then over the weekend if not, and I am going to actually try and fix these shelves that fell down finally over the weekend, even though the screws and stuff have been sitting there waiting for me to do it for the best part of 2 weeks now. But everything else just gets in the way, doesn't it? So I'm going to sort out these packages for posting and get on with stuff. So speak soon. Okay, back from my Facebook Marketplace wheeler dealings. Well, that and 4 hours sat in a Department of Transport place with a guy who absolutely loved his job. Not alive, eh? Couldn't have cracked a smile if he tried. Anyway, so this is my latest Facebook Marketplace. There's a Freudian slip. Nothing dodgy about this stuff, honestly. So a couple of Ninjago sets. These are multiples of one that I already have, so we'll make out the efficiency of parting them out. Likewise with the Disney train thing, really just picking this one up for the minifigures. I figure they're pretty collectible. Moana, Woody, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell. Obviously there's that set with these two coming out as well. And Mickey and Minnie, they're always going to be popular. I've got one of these already, so I got another 2 of those. Again, efficiency of parting that out. And then I picked up some Harry Potter. So I don't really have much Harry Potter in the store at all. So this one has minifigures, pretty much. I think you get 3 minifigures and a thing in each. So who are they? Michael Corner, Luna Lovegood, sounds like a porn star. Chu Chang, again, is that legit? Who's in this one? Blaze Zabini, Draco Malfoy, Pansy Parkinson, and then in this one we've got Susan Bournes, Cedric Diggory, and Hannah Abbott. These must be like the B team of the different houses, mustn't they? Who's that one? That's Susan Bournes again. We've done that one, and then the red house, which I don't have any idea what these houses are, is Angelina Johnson, Neville Longbottom, I recognise him, and Harry Potter. So yeah, I've got 2 of each of those, and looking at it, I think it's pretty much like plates and tiles and things like that. That tile's pretty interesting though, isn't it? Kind of like a wibbly wobbly one. And I don't know whether they're printed tiles or whether they're plates as yet. And they obviously open up into some kind of scene in the back with some tan parts. But I figured, in terms of adding some minifigures, perhaps not the most radically popular minifigures, but adding a bit of Harry Potter, adding a bit of variety, this kind of stuff would be a winner. And given that these are even on sale, I think these are going for like $40 each, right? So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32, 36. That's about 360. I think they're about 180, 80 to 100, aren't they? So that's maybe takes that to like maybe to 500, and they're about 22, 25 maybe. Don't know, maybe a bit more than that each. So maybe there's like $500, $600 worth there, and I got all of that for $250. So pretty good deal in terms of retail value, and in terms of the part out value, I haven't actually checked, but given that I had this one and that one, a 1 of each, I thought at the deal that would be all right. And then I only ordered them yesterday, and they've arrived already from Brick Warehouse, which was that store I went to do the pickup, but they're not doing pickup at the moment. I sold the last one of the light blue grey one of those I had in the week, so I thought I just replenished those because you never know, and they were cheap. So picked all those up for like $1 or something like that. It was easy. And then the other thing that arrived, bear with me a minute, FUD, in the week was another Amazon parcel, which is a bit of a mixed one, in that one of the sets is for me. So this one is for my personal collection, I had one of these and I sold it, and then I had seller's remorse straight after because I've got a loose one that I really like, especially the stand for it. The stand for it, I don't know why Star Wars don't do that for more sets. It would be good. So I bought a version of that off of Amazon with Prime, so it was discounted, as were these two. And they came from Amazon Japan, where they do have some good deals. Quite often, those Justifiers came from Amazon Japan as well. And I don't have any of these in the store. I've got one on sale, boxed on the store, and I've got one in my personal collection. But I thought, and I think they were like 30% off. So I figured, why not, in terms of something big for parting out in the store. So yeah, that also arrived. Don't know when that arrived, kind of a couple of days ago. I just forgot, it was sitting in the boot of the car. So now I've got to find somewhere to put all of this out of the way. And while I've been out, there's been a couple of orders as well, so I'm just going to go upstairs, get those picked, and I'll show you those in a minute. Final 2 orders for the Friday. A couple more instructions. It's been a big week for instructions, and some blue parts. What can you say? Bit of a mixed bag, that, isn't it? And the beauty of that is I only actually bought that brickheads for the Asterix and Obelix brickheads that I was building with my son. So selling the instructions is a bonus, although I mean it was only 73 cents. So, but it's money that I didn't have previously, so that's good. And the second one, and the user is Wookiee something or other, so he's got to be a Star Wars fan, is some reddish brown bits and pieces. Again, tidy little order. And that takes us to 10 for the week, heading into the weekend, which nothing to be sniffed at, is it? And they're all getting in the post before the weekend as well. So I'm going to box these up. These are all going large letter. So get these packaged up and get them to the post office before the end of the day. And then probably means the part out stuff will wait till the weekend. But there you go. Might do a little bit more before I close this one out for the weekend. End of Friday, and I just thought do a quick check-in to see where we ended the week. No more orders since those two are packed, so that's 10 so far for the week. We're closing out on 71,297 parts, so we went past the 70,000 that we were targeting. We've got 8 fans, which I'm pretty chuffed with. A whole load of messages that I've not read, but I think they're mainly about orders that I've placed. So yeah, they're all about orders I've placed. Over on YouTube, where are we at? 337 subscribers. It's kind of steadied off that, to be fair. I think there's a lot kind of people have kind of got used to what's on offer, so maybe that'll be just kind of steady out for now. I haven't done a lot of shorts this week either. I think I did one. Oh yeah, it's got 2,000 views, that short. Wow, that's a lot. Wow, I didn't even look at that when I did that yesterday. Let's have a look what that does in the see if there's any stats on the monetization thing. Let's have a little look down here. It still doesn't show up, but 2,000 views, it doesn't even show up on the bits and pieces. So we're 337. They're kind of tracking about the same, aren't they, these two, which is good. A little more than a third of the way along as we approach kind of, what are we, 6-7 weeks into this little journey over on the dashboard on Brick Freedom. Where are we at? Reports. Week 32 is looking like, I know we're on week 33, that'll be better, won't it? Total sales income, it reckons is up 2%, but I don't actually think it's correct. Anyway, Total shipping is up, which if sales is up, then 9% down, but they reckon that's 11 sales last week. Average sales continue to be up. Sales per day down? I don't think so. Is it? 1.6 last week and 2 this week. Something not right about their stats, I tell you. Because their July sales, they reckon we only actually made 5 sales for $393. So something not quite right about Brick Freedom's stats. But definitely instructions doing the business. And this week, dark blue grey is the colour of the week. Oh, I think that's probably my favourite statistic for some childish reason. It just cheers me up seeing which colour's the colour of the week. Trans light blue been popular, hasn't it? Yeah, get to crack up that one. So yeah, I haven't looked at Facebook, and I still haven't had any orders on Brickowl. So that's nearly a whole week of Brickowl without anything happening there. Whether I'm doing something wrong over there or not, who knows? I'm no expert, but I don't know. Maybe it's just not cheap enough for Brickowl punters. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a good week. I've had a great time, actually. It's been the first time I've had a full week at it for a while. We've had a good run at those stats. Kind of already chipped away a little bit of next week's 5,000, and if I can get this Brick Store file, which I have finished doing all of the notes for, get rid of that, uploaded, that would be another 1,700 parts for those that art school thing. A lot of different colours of parts. There's not a lot of parts that I didn't have. A couple, but not many. Lots of windows. A lot of windows, which means there's a couple of boxes. There's kind of some boxes where I keep big plates and windows and wheels and things like that that are going to need sorted out. And I have paid for the really useful box company drawers, so that's all ready to go. Which means this month's been quite a heavy investment month with not a lot of income so far. So definitely the second half of it's going to have to be all about sales and getting stuff in the store and not spending any more money on the store. But these are the things you learn. So that's it for the week. Going to go and take those 2 orders to the post office, finish off the week with a little walk in the sunshine. And thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you've got questions, leave them down below, and subscribe to stay up to date with what happens next week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.